Hi, hi, Winter. Right. Oh, okay. Trying to figure out how to get these goats on camera. this this box is too short for the small one, but yes, it's my new goat from Winter, from Canada. Has a little tail back here. It wants to focus on Banros back here, but yeah, this is new goat. I think I'm going to let them sit on my one of my crochet one of my squares for the Stitch and Scream blanket that Alt Knots is doing. It's not the official Stitch, but um, I wanted to do something along with the Ghoul Squad, but just like have my own random lace that I choose for that month. Also, this is my own yarn, so that's cool. I mean, it's the yarn that I dyed. So they're gonna sit on this. Hi, Steel Sky. Welcome. They're still not tall enough, so I'm gonna have the other lace Stitch and Scream square that I brought, which is not my own yarn. It's Boss Kitty yarn, but since the project is a year long, I'm just like, yeah, let's keep, I have all these, an ever growing number of squares, another one each month, hopefully, if I keep up, and so I've just been using them as like elbow rests till it's time to put them into the blanket. So yeah, how are y'all? Let me know what you're working on, what you're drinking. I have coffee. Stitch and Square. Scream, new band name. Yes. Maybe it's like the Screamo. Is that a genre of metal, I think? Like, and they have songs about, it's kind of like that, like, comedic commentary version of the metal, which sounds like a weird thing, but it's great. I've seen or heard a few bands doing that. None that like I regularly listen to, but oh yeah, I wanted to show you my mug, which I've had for a while, but it's just such a good mug. From my friend who lives in the Netherlands. So yeah, the mug isn't from there, but yeah, it was great to get something from that friend. Um, yeah, horror punk sounds good too. Like, and like it could be kind of like, from what I've gathered from living from experiencing horror vicariously through people that love it, because it's not really my thing, but like I I I I appreciate what it does and like the things people love about it. Like there can be like a very campy, over the top humor almost in horror, so it could be that like we love it, but we also kind of laugh about things, and the DIY punk mind with a side of horror and terror. Yeah, I have so much respect for punk. I consider myself goth, so like punk is the like the mother subculture of a lot of the alternative movements that came about in the um, late 70s, the 80s. So, yeah. And I couldn't figure out a way to like work this into the just description because I had a lot going on in there, but this is what I'll be working on: my cape with more of my hand-dyed yarn. So it's been so fun to work with yarn that I dyed and be like, oh, so this is how it looks when it's yarn, when it's fabric. But oh yeah, there's this one I can't remember the band's name or the song's name, but I went to one concert of a really cool, I can't remember any of the names in this story, but like there was a really good metal band that was from, I want to say somewhere Norse, but I don't know. Oh, thank you. Yeah. And I wanted to say it began with the letter A and had like maybe an L or an S in it, but I'm sure that doesn't really narrow things down. But they were great. But the story isn't really about them. It's about this one of the other bands in the set. Like they were the closer band, but like this other band had kind of that humor metal thing going on, and at one point they sang a song about the retro video game that they had played. But the only thing I know about it is that apparently you're supposed to save ALS. Cool. I don't know. This was several years ago, if that narrows things down. But and they would have been playing in person in the LA area because that's where I was. The band that were on tour then. So. But yeah, this one this one band was singing a song about a video game. Oh, okay, yeah. I see. I don't know. So I was like, well, Winter could know. I don't know, but the only thing I know about the song or the video game was that you had to save a mermaid, because the only line I remember from the song was like there were several, there was like a chorus or some other repeating section where they would go and save that mermaid, which was it was just such a cute song. Like they're doing the like fierce metal thing, but also they're like, we gotta save that mermaid, boys. So it was cute. But yeah, okay, so may as well start crocheting while we talk. As you can see, this is also the same dragonfly pattern that I sort of recreated from a picture, and the same one as the other. So far, I've only done my hand-dyed yarn with this the dragonfly pattern. I'm sure it works great with other patterns too, but so it's been fun to just kind of come up with what I'm doing as I go, because I don't have to like refer back to a pattern. I just kind of have what I'm doing in my head. and garment construction and fitting has always been kind of hard for me with crochet, but I'm really proud of how this is turning out. It's actually a cape. Oh, cool. Working on a new pattern of yours that is in testing. Nice. So I'm planning to have a part that will come across on like latch, but I I knew I wanted this to be kind of like a triangle shawl, but the dragonflies start from their head, and I wanted them to be going up, which means I have to start from the top down. So I've been adding in new triangle wedges to make the shawl widen, and just kind of just adding them as I go, which is why it has more the ruffles at this edge. But we will see how it goes. It's actually sorry if you can hear the corgi. She seems to be having a hard time at the moment, but she probably smells someone cooking downstairs. She's like, "There's unauthorized cheese in the kitchen, and I'm up here. How can this be?" So, oh, cool. Thank you, Winter. Yeah, I love how it's actually really working. It really drapes well over my shoulders, which is hard in general, but like my shoulders in particular are like very small and sloped, so it's hard to get things to fit them. When I sew patterns, I'm always like, well, I have to sew it even smaller than I thought it I thought I did. I haven't sewn patterns in a while, but just like well, the the slope of my shoulders is even smaller than I thought. Yesterday evening, the corgi was just really loud up there. She was like, she acted like the world was coming to an end, and I realized after a certain point, oh, she probably smells the Greek cheese spiral that I'm cooking, which and she's like, "Let me out! I want to go investigate what's happening in the kitchen." So she stopped after it came out of the oven, and I guess wasn't making as much of a aroma. So maybe it was that. The pattern I'm making, is an anatomical heart. I created it as a gift to the man I have newly come to love. Aw, nice. Hi. Hi, Antipodia. Good to have you here. Let's see, but it is coming to an end. I'm not sure what you mean, but cool. You might have to clarify. I love this row because we go from just this random string across to, and like the actual wings of the dragonfly, the world, the lol. Oh well, yeah, at some point, but I I think she lives in a cheese based timeline. Oh yeah, the corgi. She she judges things by how judges the importance of things by how much cheese or bacon they have. Um, so she she has decided, of course, that the vacuum is evil. It kind of makes me think of that scene in the Return of the King when they're with the Rohirrim, the 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 writers of Rohan, for those who aren't as into the Tolkien lore as I have been, and Eomer glances at the mountain that they happen to be camped right under, and he's like, "That mountain is evil," and they're like, "Okay," and y'all are still camped um, right under it. I guess there wasn't another good camping spot. Um, that is a sound way to evaluate things. Yeah, I mean, it is, honestly. I've been go 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 all day. I'm taking a sec to relax before the family goes to the zoo. Yeah, I'm happy I can be that like chill space for you, because I know what it's like to just go for a long time. Or like at some point I'm like I just need to turn off my brain and not do things. I've been goat, goat, goat all day. I'm guessing there are not goats at the zoo, but that would be great if there were. Do you have a favorite? This goes for you and other people. Do you have a um, favorite animal at the zoo, or just kind of all of them? It's been a long time since I've been to a zoo, I think. I think my favorite areas tended to be like water or like shade areas, because I didn't like all of the walking in the hot sun, but yeah. Donated plasma, went to the gym, washed my car, exchanged a shirt for the right color, and deposited some money. Oh wow, yeah, that is a lot. There are goats in the petting zoo. Yes, if you happen to see them, give them a pet for me if you want to. I love tigers and apes. Yeah, those are great. No pun intended. Great apes, but I mean the tigers are also great. So. This is I just thought of a really funny story that is I'm I'm not sure if I want to say it's a like slightly um, inappropriate, but it's also just a cute thing that a kid said, so it's not that bad. But um, so as when my sisters and I were young, I yes, people watching is also a time honored sport. So pastime sport sounds weird, but ooh, sea lions, yeah. My 4-year-old loves petting the goats, and her favorites are the flamingos. Nice. Yeah. So we went to the zoo one time and saw the right um, um, rhinoceroses, and there was a sign that said something like they. I'm not sure if it was like if they feel threatened, they can squirt um, something, and there it didn't really specify what it was, but I think maybe my dad just kind of assumed that, or we assumed that it was pee, and so and I forget the exact number of feet that the rhino could squirt this thing, this stuff, and so when we got home and our mom asked how the zoo had went, we told her the rhino can squirt pee about a million miles. That was our takeaway. Yes, rhinos are armored puppies. Or it might have been the hippo. I feel like it was rhino, but like I could be wrong. I get them mixed up, even though one of them is in water a lot more, I think. I used to work in a grocery store, so that's my favorite place to human watch because people seem to forget to maintain any illusions when doing common errands. You get the most authentic version of the person when they're looking at what food to buy. Yeah, that makes sense. And also it's like, it's such a basic thing that we have to do, like to think about how to get stuff that will help us keep going. So, yeah. Yeah. One thing I've enjoyed starting doing is since I have shops in walking distance now, and I can just go buy groceries for myself. I'll 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 put my um, the one of my Spotify playlists on, which one of the ways that I like to do kind of um, div, divination, just like that sounds more formal than it is, but it's just sort of like part of the conversation when I'm talking to my gods, because I kind of let them choose which song comes up next via the random shuffle, I think it's called. So so whichever god I'm going shopping with that day, I'll just kind of be in my own world and be having a whole conversation with them under my breath or just like in my head. But I'm just like I'm so glad I have my earbuds in, because people, if I do accidentally say something out loud, people assume I'm just talking to someone on the phone and not like on the God phone as we call it. But so it's nice to know, okay, I'm not going to get as many weird looks if I have my earbuds in. So like I am talking to someone who's not physically there, but Yeah. Rhinos do squirt urine while patrolling their territory. I was right. Cool. But you might be thinking of the anteater as well. They're angry chew. I misread that as chewed skunks. I was like, okay, chewed skunks, clawed skunks in a way. It was definitely like a big a big animal. I I I think it was the rhino, and I specifically remember seeing the number, and I think it was some amount of like feet or meters, and thinking that is a complicated number. I'm going to round it off to a number that I understand, which is 1 million miles. That's close enough, right? Which I think means no one anywhere in the world would be safe from this super jet of rhino pee, which is really funny. I'm that person talking to myself in the grocery store. Yeah, I feel like it's so helpful, especially for me as a I'm the I'm the neurodivergent person, to just like voice my thoughts out loud sometimes, and I think it should be more normalized. It's kind of funny. I made this part as like the center part as a placeholder for um, kind of diamond appliques that I'm going to make for the stars down the back. But I've gotten a lot of good compliments on it. Like one person said it looked like a spine, which it does. It's that's cool. And that was before the person knew that it would be going down my back where the actual spine is. So I'm like, well, that I almost don't want to cover it up, but I am going to, because I want to have the stars down the back. This is sort of cosplay for that one game. I may have mentioned it before, but I've started playing this phone game, Sky Children of the Light, and they have capes that allow them to fly. And the more stars you have, the more times you can boost your the more boosts you have, or like the times you can flap your cape before you have to find a source to recharge. So I'm just gonna see how much space I end up with, and make as many stars as will fit on the back, which might be more stars than you're currently able to get in the game, which is which will feel awesome, because I'm a new player and there's no way that I can get the max amount of stars, because some of them are were from like time limited things that happened. So if you see someone with 12 stars, which is the max, you're like, wow, that person's been playing a while. But at least in with this cape, I may not be able to physically fly, but I have more stars than the vets do. trying to talk your fiance into letting you get a sheep. That's awesome. I've I've been watching some um, hand spinning videos recently. Like Jillian Eve's channel is great, um, and it's really fun to learn about the different qualities of wool and the different types of wool. Like I'm happy with mostly not working with wool. If it's given to me, then I will probably do something with it because I I do love sheep, and I see how like I appreciate nice wool. It's just that I can't really wear it or like have it close to my skin. So I'll at that point I'll probably just make something like a doily or something. But I'll find something to do with it. But it's always fun learning about crafts that I'm or parts of crafts that I don't feel a need to like dive into myself because I don't feel like the yearning of like I need that yarn. It's more just like, oh, that's a cool thing that someone knows a lot about, and I can learn about the knowledge that they have. Speaking of, what type of sheep do you are you thinking of getting, or like what like would you want to do something with the wool, or I'm wanting to get a wheel soon. Until then, I have my little manual thing. Oh yeah, I was going to ask if it was drop spindle. I have a couple of friends who introduced me to like I haven't drop spindled myself, but like I know what it is, because these friends do. So I would also love to do that at some point, and I'd love to learn how to weave. And like I'm really drawn to old crafts, especially the really old versions of them. Not that they're better, but just like it just feels like there's something about them that's calling to me. So kind of for pagan reasons, because my gods tend to be very like the layers of the gods that I interact with seem to be very like like very connected with like old like very old layers of human life. Just like um they seem to consider anything after the Bronze Age to be new. So that's just like, and I'm not saying the older is better, just like that's the layer I tend to um that tends to pull me in. So I'm thinking any sheep aside from baby doll sheep. Cool. I don't know what that means, but it's cool to learn. I'm guessing there's something about the wool or some other thing that wouldn't make that sheep as good for for your needs. And it's been fun to learn that like apparently there is just so much different wool that people process in different ways and people use for different things. and this one person, I forget her name, but I think she's a um, Flemish spinner, and she was talking about how in her country people don't think of the um, the native Flemish sheep as being as good as the more commercial brands, and she's like, I just want to shove the um, the, um, the Flemish sheep in their face, like, look, it's such a good sheep, and I just love that image. Look at the sheep. So, um, oh yeah, that makes sense. I don't want one that is at risk of getting wool blind and needs sheared twice a year. Yeah, that's a good um, um, consideration. There's a vendor at one of our local farmers markets who sells incredible cheese curds made from goat's milk. Just got some yesterday in garlic, herb, and spicy. Ooh, that sounds good. It's been so fun getting to know more about food, both in terms of like growing and cooking, because I don't really feel like I had space or energy to do that when I was at my parents' house, and now I'm like, yeah, I can get to the market on my own. I have money, and I have a kitchen that I want to actually cook in. Enough said about that. Oh, also, I'm starting to build a garden in the front yard, and like a vegetable and herb garden. So I planted a few seeds. We have this huge stock of seeds that have apparently been here for like 5 years. They've just been in a drawer. So I'm like, well, may as well try them, and just gonna try and keep them wet until hopefully they sprout. Because even if half of them sprout, hey, that's more than we had before. I also got a bag of sweet potatoes, which ran oh cool, no, that's fine. I'm random too. I have ADHD. Crocheted goat's milk for your crocheted goat. Yes, you could do a little pail with like the foam in the top, or something like that. Um, yeah, I was thinking about at one point I wanted to do a batch of both potatoes and sweet potatoes, and with apologies to the Spud Squad, I'm gonna wait on potatoes because I was trying to learn about each, like how you put each of them in the ground, and what they need, and I think it's a bit too late in the year here to do potatoes, because they need cooler weather, and we are quickly getting into the hot season. So, but sweet potatoes love that because they're a completely different family, and they're a tropical plant actually. So, and this is like a subtropical zone, kind of zone 10, if that makes sense to you. So I got a big bag of um, 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 or organic sweet potatoes. Only thing I don't like about them is that they're hard for me to say. But um, since the non-organic ones tend to be sprayed with a thing that stops them from sprouting, and that's not what we want in this case. So um, apparently one sweet potato can give you dozens of new plants. So I'm gonna see if I can make some. And then I have a crate outside which actually came from my parents' house, which seems like a good place to plant them. And it's kind of cool to have this crate that's just been in the front yard since I moved, and it only came with me because I didn't have enough stuff to fill the bottom of the the moving truck, so we had to grab some, like, just a couple extra things so that it wouldn't slide around. But it feels very powerful to take that. Like it's just been a piece of junk, and now I'm going to grow food in it. So yeah, I'm at the stage where my heart looks just like a big strawberry. Yum. Tasty. Sweet potatoes. Oh, hi, Darla. I'm, at least I hope I said your name right. I'm not sure if that's an L or an I. But yeah, hi, welcome. Sweet potatoes are in the morning glory family, yes, and all other potatoes are nightshades. I only know that because I'm allergic to nightshades. Yeah, that makes sense. As I recall, aren't tomatoes also nightshades? I have found out that dogs are apparently also, like, they also can't have nightshades. So I try and be so when I'm cooking with tomatoes, I'm extra careful not to drop any on the floor, because the dog doesn't know that she can't eat them. She'll just be like, "Ooh, tasty." So oh, good. I am glad that I said it right. One of my favorite dog-related words that I've learned recently is when the dog's looking for food on the floor, then she's looking for floor d'oeuvres or floor snacks, both of which are cute. They are. It sucks because I love the foods I can't eat. Yeah, that sucks. I love milk, and thankfully it's not as bad. Like my lactose intolerance has faded a lot, which is nice. But at one point I was like, well, I guess I just have to give up all these foods that I love because I suddenly can't have milk. Fluoritizers, lol. Yes. Her owners are like say that she's a hobbit dog. We've had one bacon, yes. What about second bacon? The thing that she cares about most in life is it tasty? Can I eat it? there's so the side of our stove oven thing is apparently not completely spotless. So at one point I came out of my room and found the dog just licking the side of the stove like like I was like, what are you doing? But yep, that's the corgi. Oh, I think I understand what went on. My sister has a lot of food allergies. She's got celiac, so no gluten, but she also has a corn intolerance, so nothing corn derived, including all of the sweeteners. Yeah, that is rough. I've um, also she's intolerant to palm products, which a lot of gluten-free processed snacks have. Yeah, that's hard when you have multiple things that include all alternatives to things that you can't have. Um, I'm actually like this week I've been um, the the practicing cooking with the constraints that my the brother Brian has on food that they can eat, to just see, okay, can I make something good with like that doesn't have the sugar and um, it it's hard because a lot of the sauces that I would like to use have sugar in them. So I'm like, well, I'll just carefully read all of the labels. But I am happy with what I came up with. So that'll be fun to cook for them on Monday. Hi, hi, Siana and Chino. Let me know if I said that right. Come on in. We're talking about food and rhinos at some point. And this is my new goat from winter. Oops, goat down. I still have to get to know this goat's personality. Oh, good, awesome. Like, um, Banros's personality is kind of iconic at this point, but it took me a while to like kind of get to know him, go to know him. So, and it did with this one too. Still kind of learning, but it's really funny. Like I felt like maybe I would be getting a third goat at some point, but I kept getting this sense that no, I don't need to look for one. I just have to wait till the right time when the third goat comes to me, and I had no idea that that's what Winter was going to send me. When I first opened the package and saw the eye, I thought it was a dragon actually. I was like, oh, that's cool, a dragon. Wait, no, it's a goat. Oh, thank you, Sean. Sean. yeah, that definitely helps. Then the next little bit, I'm trying to get, grow my channel and get more eyes on um, my my yarn. I'm not sure what that how to read that, Winter. Okay, well, I mean, I have friends who probably associate me more with the dragons, because one of my patron god's things is that he like he has a lot of dragon association, that was pre goat. But I'm also very happy with this guy. Oh right, I didn't tell you his name. So I was like, okay, so he needs a name, and the other two have names that are they're actually from different faces of my patron god, and more from the Minoan side of my practice. So we have Banros and Minos. So they both have names that end in OS, and it suddenly came to me, there is another name of one face of my patron god that ends in OS, but it's more from the Brythonic side, and it is Vindos, which we see as, which me and some other the devotees see as, like, it's an older form of the name Gwyn, as in the Gwyn Apnid. And a lot of what I'm going to talk about is like personal gnosis and experience. So not trying to say this is the true way, but this is just what I have going on in my practice. But so Gwyn recently had his May Day battle on May 1st with the Summer King, because I see him as the Winter King. So he so for the summer to come, like, he kind of has to fight and then lose that battle and die. So it's kind of a hard time of year. Like, for me, he does come back on Halloween, actually, which is one more reason why I love that time of year. And he kind of is here during the summer for me, but it feels kind of like he's more ghostly, if that makes sense. And even though he's a god and like a lot more powerful than I am, I can still tell, like, it's hard to go through. So something like he has to go through on May 1st, and so, since he's someone that I love, I care about that. So but it's kind of nice. Like, I have a, like, just after that, I was given by someone that had no clue about any of this. I was given a goat that feels very Halloweeny, and that apparently is going to carry the name of this face of my patron, Vindos. So it's kind of like a really sweet reminder that he'll be back. And of course, all of my goats also have subtitles, have titles, kind of like there's the name and then the tiny goat, night goat, and this one needs some kind of um, dis descriptive thing too. So I kind of like hello goat or like um, I think he also answers to um, Cana- can, 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 Canadian goat because that's where he was born. So, or like northern goat. So, yeah, he is tinier than Banros, but like Banros is the tiny goat, so that that name is taken. But it's so fun to have an expanding goat herd. Also, I've discovered apparently there are lots of I hesitate to say real as opposed to like these guys because I think they're real too, just in a different way. But like um, flesh and blood goats, like they, you know, livestock. So there are lots of them on Instagram. So I've started getting recommendations for channels for people to follow, and I'm like, yes, send me the goats. I love how that baby goats will like when they're trying to go somewhere fast to goat somewhere fast they don't really walk, they hop. They're just like, okay, time to bounce. Boop, 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 boop. Now I'm on the pogo stick and I will get there fast. Yeah, well, I'm glad that you find it interesting because I I like sharing things about my pagan stuff, and but one of my important jobs while I stream is to enter, um, entertain. So I'm glad that I am doing that. Wow, I almost got halfway through a row. This is the halfway point. So I'll probably just finish that up and then say goodbye because we are getting to 12 p.m. My time. But I am happy that folks have been here and like hung out and chatted. This has been great. Thank you. Do I do crochet cloths? Like the washcloths, or do you mean like the clothing? I've dabbled in both. So I actually have a series on my channel that I'm planning to go back to at some point. That is a second version of my crocheted poet shirt. So it's kind of a watch me go through the journey of like trying to make sure that this pattern is good. Oh yeah, the wearables, yeah. Yeah, I mostly do shawls. and like wrap skirt things, but I I would still like to kind of make more poet shirt type patterns because I will happily crochet a poet shirt even though it takes longer than sewing probably because I just don't want to sew um, that that much. Yay, you you made it. M's are really hard for me to say. Also cool that I did see that Winter is crocheting an um, aorta. Cool. Yeah, you're just in time for for me to almost say goat bye, but I do have like a few more stitches to do. But I am glad that you're here. Unexpected catastrophe. Yeah, the spelling is hard. Right now I'm expanding. I'm increasing these, so now we have, I think, yeah, a chain 4. The last row was a chain 2. Thank you. Yeah, I love him too. His name is Vindos. Minos Banros Vindos. And he's from Canada. On one of my previous streams, I unknowingly was giving Winter instructions for what colors to pick for him. So that was a fun surprise. Yeah, so now that we're more than halfway through our dragonfly cape, thanks, Crochet Hooked, and hi, and bye. Well, thank you so much for coming to hang out. I'm going to try and actually stream this Thursday. Last Thursday, since May 1st happened, like it was just like I just need to take a break from all of the from some stuff because last Thursday was the day when we when I and some other devotees of Gwen were doing a small like kind of a ritual, kind of like a funeral service for this god that we all follow or at least care about, because like he dies for the summer and then comes back in the winter. So I was like, I just need some time after that. But yeah, well, yeah, you caught me, and like, well, it was great to have you say hi, Crochet Hooked. So always next time. But yeah, have a great day. It's time to goat. Oh no, now I have to do this with 3 goats. Goat bye. I was going to end the stream while the goats were in your face, but okay.